Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter.
It's a real classic now on ITV Quiz, mystery words and a healthy cash jackpot. So who's got the lingo?
Hi there guys, it's Adam Martyn here, and welcome back to another video. And it's quite the day today because we have the launch of a brand new TV channel happening. It's Monday the 9th of June 2025, and after much talk, ITV QUIZ has debuted on the air, of course taking over the slot that was occupied by ITVBe that had been in place since 2014. So ITV QUIZ is here. We talked a lot previously about the potential schedule for ITV QUIZ, what it might look like, and now in this video we're going to get the first glimpses of that. Before we get into it, as ever, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel as well. Always great to see new people coming aboard with us. And before we really delve into ITV QUIZ, I do think we once again need to pay a very quick tribute to ITVBe.
Welcome to ITVBe, our brand new channel. It's Becky here, and we've got a whole night of glitz and glamour to share with you.
Now, I'm not going to mince around. I don't necessarily have too much sentimental things to say about this channel. It's not one I really watched. I do remember it launching back in 2014. It coincided actually with when I went to university, which just shows you how I'm getting old. But since reality TV has honestly never really been my wheelhouse, it's never been a channel I've taken that much interest in. However, it did manage over the last 11 years to gradually carve out an identity for itself, and I'm sure have a dedicated following. It seems that audiences knew over time that if they wanted that slice of reality programming, ITVBe was the place to go. But I do admit, in recent years, at least for the 2020s, I think that image has always sort of been in conflict or in battle with one of its own family, that being ITV2. ITV2 over the last decade, I'd say, has increased its reality programming, which is fine on the surface. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I always found it odd how more and more in the 2020s, ITV2 was being pushed as this reality TV hub, as opposed to ITVBe, which in theory was what that was designed for in the first place. And this obviously all came to a head with the announcement that ITVBe would be biting the dust. All of the programming on there would be shifting over to ITV2, and ITV QUIZ would be taking its place, essentially making us all think, well, so essentially ITVBe is ITV2, like we've all suspected, and we're just amalgamating it. It's probably the best move going forward. I think had that pattern continued, that ITVBe wouldn't necessarily have had much of a bright future going forward for the rest of the decade and beyond. So a little salute to ITVBe, 11 years on the air, especially when you're launching in the sort of the uptick of the streaming and digital age. 11 years isn't a bad life. You will be missed by some audiences, I'm sure, just not by me. So ITV QUIZ has come along, and again, the need for a quiz channel can be up for debate, but this is the first real challenge, funnily enough. This is the first main competitor to Challenge, which has been operating for decades now as sort of the one-stop shop for quiz shows, for game shows, just that kind of genre, that kind of programming. Challenge has been there. It's been readily accessible for a long time, and now ITV QUIZ is seemingly coming to dominate that monopoly. Naturally, the ITV Press Centre put out a statement saying that ITV launches its brand new channel, ITV QUIZ. It's quiz o'clock, round the clock for the fans of the genre, as ITV has announced the launch of a brand new quiz channel, ITV QUIZ, a dedicated destination for bringing viewers non-stop brain-teasing entertainment from 9 AM till 1 AM every day. So it's not necessarily a 24-hour broadcast channel. I believe they're filling the dead air with either teleshopping or the ITV Unwind strand that they have. It says playing host to a lineup of the broadcasters' favourites, ITV QUIZ will feature a launch month billing of celebrated programmes and award-winning formats such as Lingo, Tipping Point, Wheel of Fortune, Tenable, Deal or No Deal, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Many great shows in there. For nearly 70 years, quiz shows have consistently been a part of ITV's DNA. One day after the channel launched in September 1955, Take Your Pick made history as the first British TV quiz to offer a cash prize. Within 3 years, ITV had turned quiz shows into a national obsession, airing them 6 nights a week. In the last year, 43 million viewers have watched a quiz show on ITV channels, which is 69% of the population. Well, it's fair to say the British public love a quiz. Quiz shows have amassed a colossal 185 million streams on ITVX in the last year. ITV QUIZ promises the very best in game show entertainment, from the iconic classics to recent hits, and with an array of star-studded quizmasters at the helm, including Graham Norton, Stephen Mulhern, Warwick Davis, Mel Gedroic, Jeremy Clarkson, and more. Whether it's trivia games, picture games, parlour games, general knowledge, or simply luck and chance, ITV Quiz has something for everyone, from the devoted trivia buff to the casual quizzer. And it's available now, and there's all the different channels as to which you can access it, depending on which system or service that you have. So it's out there in the world, and we did get a lovely little closing moment for ITVBe via the continuity announcer.
Right then, it's time to say goodbye to ITVBe. Thanks for being here for the highs, lows, gossip, and of course the drama. We've absolutely loved it. And don't worry, all your favourite B shows are heading to ITV2 and ITVX with loads more great series. So that's it from us. What a journey. See you soon.
And then immediately hit up with this sort of caption card saying that ITV Quiz is here and it's going to start at 9 a.m. Every now and then they'd intersperse it with the little 1-minute promo that's been doing the rounds, promoting ITV Quiz naturally. But in terms of its look, I mean, this is the logo in general, naturally looking or taking the font or similar font to the ITV logo itself. We've got all the letters jumbled up there, it's a bit disorganized, and I think it works. It works to a degree. Part of me think it feels a bit, I don't mean this in a bad way, it feels slightly childish, you know what I mean? It feels like it's sort of the text or logo that could accompany a kid's channel. I sort of get it. Quizzes can be a bit all over the place. There's a bit of variety there. But yeah, out of all the logos I was expecting, it wasn't this. I was expecting something a bit more maybe like serious or straightforward as the ITV Quiz logo that we've seen over on YouTube, where all the letters are straight there. But this seems to be what they're going for, the sort of topsy-turvy approach. And in terms of the idents, or at least the one we've seen so far, I mean, it's pretty simple, just the letters for quiz dipping in and out. They also appear in the background there. Red background, yellow text, very appealing. Colours contrast really nicely. I was a bit surprised because I said in a previous video that I just assumed that this would follow the mould of the rest of the ITV channels, that it'd take place against those similar backdrops we've seen for a few years now, like the train station, the cafe, the field. I thought ITV Quiz would give us unique variations against those backdrops. And, well, at least on launch day, I'm recording this on launch day, mind you, as far as I can see so far, that hasn't quite happened. Now, there could be an endless amount of reasons for this, as to why it looks like this, as to why they've gone down this route, but it's breaking from the norm. I'll give them that. It's truly breaking from the norm. The promo we get as well, the little 1-minute promo, I think does a decent job at just naturally showing you the kind of programs you'd expect. Obviously, many of the ITV big hitters, like it mentioned, Deal or No Deal, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Tenable, Tipping Point, etc. But as we mentioned before, there is one glaring omission at the minute, and that, of course, is The Chase, which is hosted by Bradley Walsh. It's arguably been ITV's biggest success in terms of the quiz field over the last 15 years. And it seems that Challenge is still going to air episodes for the time being. I mentioned that I think that's down to probably a rights thing, that they've got the rights to do that on behalf of ITV, and they'll just continue to do that until that runs out and is exhausted. But you'd really like to think, wouldn't you, that eventually it will come into the fold, because why wouldn't it? Overall, though, I mean, I'd love to ramble on, but aside from that, there's not a huge deal to say. I mean, on the whole, the launch of a television channel, sadly, just isn't as exciting as it once used to be. I mean, long gone are the days from like the 80s and 90s where the launch of a new TV channel was treated like this big event that you had to try and get round the telly for. It was new, it was exciting. It didn't necessarily matter whether you liked the programs they had coming up, but just being there, witnessing history in a way, witnessing these new channels be born was something that was exciting. And I think in today's realm where channels pop up a dime a dozen, you've got the streaming field as well, all this competition, it just takes out a lot of that fun and excitement. For me growing up as a teenager in the 2010s, the launch of new TV channels just didn't have much excitement to it. It's like, oh right, this channel's launching, that's cool, I guess. There wasn't that need. You didn't feel like you had to be there in the same way that, like, when Channel 4 launched in 1982, or Channel 5 in 1997, or going even further back, for those who could see BBC Two back in the mid-1960s. So ITV Quiz has launched without much of a fanfare, aside from the promos and stuff, but I think ITV have mainly gone down the route to save money, as all broadcasters are going down the route to save money. From what we know at the minute of ITV Quiz, they're not going to be showing or commissioning necessarily any new quiz programming. This is mainly, I guess, like an archive channel, mainly of recent episodes, but that is still archive. It's mainly consisting of repeats of stuff that has gone out before. As far as I know, it's not being used to premiere like new series of any quiz shows. It's not being used for any new quiz shows in general. That might change as time goes on, but honestly, given the really precarious state that the UK TV industry is at the minute, I genuinely don't see that happening anytime soon. I'd be very shocked. Doing this naturally probably just saves them a bit of money, as I'm sure ITVBe did towards the end. And they've probably deduced, like with the facts in the press release there, quizzes are very popular. People might just tune into this, have it on in the background, as people have done with Challenge over the years. Like I said, I do wonder how this is going to impact Challenge. I think they can exist harmoniously. I think if ITV Quiz focuses on stuff from like the last couple of years and Challenge really focuses on the vintage stuff, like I'm talking mainly pre-21st century / early 2000s sort of thing, I think then if those two exist, you've got the two different fields there and that can really blend your audience as well. But only time will tell. Like I said, I'm recording this on launch day, the 9th of June 2025. The day is still young. There are still plenty of programs to go out. There is still plenty of time for ITV Quiz to further develop its own identity, its own brand, how it's going to look with its visual identity, for example. And I'll keep an eye on it. You know, I'm curious to see how this develops, or if now that they've got it up and running, ITV are just going to go on autopilot and just let it be what it is now, which would be a shame. But again, with the way TV is at the minute, I see it being a sad outcome. But that is all for this video, really. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Were you there for the launch of ITV Quiz? Are you going to be tuning into it here and there? Let me know all of that in the comments down below. In the meantime, I've been Adam Martyn from AMTV. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Your first question is, what's the name of the ITV channel that shows nothing but your favourite quizzes?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you're going to kick yourself.
Well, let's find out.
Everybody ready?
The answer is, of course, ITV Quiz.
I love that.
It's a beautiful synergy there.
There's that clear, everyone.
Well played, everybody.
100% quiz. The clue's in the name. ITV Quiz.
Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Sean Knock, Dord Khan, Liam Domain, AJ Mac 200017, Deck, Jen, Traffy, Mr. Eurovision 1986, Marnanel Thurman, 40-something Manchild, Jerry Ralph, John McLeod, James Wallace, Ben, Stephen Oliver, Shadowfiend 180X, Swan Ronson, Adam Gamer, Sir Fonzie Daz, Seraphic Euphoria, Real Random, Matthew Elliff, Pigeon's House, Shah H, Robert Oliphant, Dave Batten, Real Team Foxy Plays, Leonard Starbuck, and Kevin Mallon, our AMTV staff members.